What's good, folks? Listen, never is a strong word, but this is a possibility. So, I gotta say, with this video today, we're gonna talk about the unanswered questions in the Walking Dead games. Now, we all know The Walking Dead is the series with a whole lot of unforgettable characters, a lot of emotions, got you crying, but it wraps up Clem's story beautifully. There's still a whole bunch of questions we don't have answers. Now, first up, let's get into the biggest question of them all. What caused the outbreak? Alright, so this mystery is not just in the Walking Dead game, but it's also in the Walking Dead whole universe. We talking about the movie too. What actually caused the zombie outbreak? Listen, throughout the series, we see all the survivors, they fighting for their life. But we never actually see what started the apocalypse in the first place. Listen, we don't know if it was a virus or an experiment going wrong, but at the same time, the point of view that we see in all these worlds are from the survival's perspective. So some people think we'll never get a clear answer because that's the main focus. And we don't know if they're gonna have a deeper backstory in mind with this, but it's a mystery nonetheless, and a very big one. Number 2, this one we all know about. Where did Christy go? Listen, everybody know this. She disappeared right after old me death in season 2. And we spent time with Clem and Christy until they were separated in the woods by some bandits. Well, we don't know if she escaped. We don't know if she knocked them upside their head. We don't know nothing. But all we know is that we don't get to see her again, even in the later seasons. And it feels strange that Christy was just left completely open and just unresolved. And I feel like her disappearance, it may have been intentional. Yeah, I know it could seem like a very loose end in the story, but at least when you leave stuff up for interpretation, it creates a whole slurry of product. Listen, that's a whole different type of content right there. Next, we got what happened with Lily. Now, I know what you're thinking. We seen what happened with Lily, but really, we missed a big chunk in her life. So, let's talk about it. Lily, she vanished in season 1 after she kills Carly, unless you say Doug. Then after that, she makes her return in season 4, and she's the leader of a real hostile group known as Delta. But we didn't learn how she got there. We don't know what she did. All we know is in the end of her journey, she leading a military faction that needs to kidnap little kids. Listen, the game give us some hints, but it's never even fully explored what happened to her between the time of season 1 and season 4. What really turned her into this cold, ruthless person? Now listen, we could say Larry did it, cause she did have some things with Larry. She was talking about Larry, but I feel like she wasn't that cold. Listen, Delta taking children in the first place, I didn't think Lily was capable of such. Cause when I think of Lily, I think, yeah, she crashed out after Carly put her in her place. And we just left to guess whatever happened to her for her to turn into this person. Now the next one you're talking about. What happened to Molly? Yes, Molly. Memorable character from season 1. She was tough, resourceful, and she seemed like she had some excellent survival skills. But after the group leaves Crawford, she decided not to join them. And what exactly happened to her, we don't even know. Listen, Molly, she had potential, man. And most people thought she was going to return in later seasons, but she never got mentioned again. Like, we don't know if she survived. Did she get caught up in another dangerous situation? Molly's fate is also open like how Christy's is. Listen, man, we ain't get no closure. What Molly doing? Where Molly at? But like I said with the other one, it could make for some good content. We never know. Now the next one. Will Clem and AJ ever truly find peace? Listen, the final season, it does wrap it up nicely. It seems like they found a place to settle down, and AJ and the other kids, they get along well. But we all know, ain't nothing never lasted long. We know what happens every time she settle down. Something bad gonna happen. It's the Walking Dead, man. Clem's story, it seems to be finished, but the world around them still so dangerous, and they ain't even that safe for real. And it's really a never-ending cycle of survival. And now with Clem, spoiler warning if you ain't beat it yet. I give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. With Clem losing a leg and AJ having to do everything, it seems like she's at a worse spot than she is now. Cause if she had to leave, it might be over with. But hopefully that man AJ can make that bionic leg, cause she gonna need it in the survival apocalypse. Now another thing I just thought about. How did AJ survive season 2? Let's talk about it, man. AJ, he managed to survive after the events of season 2. When we met him, AJ was a baby. And really there was a little bit of hope for him. There was little hope. Especially after Clem left him alone. But season 3, AJ been taken in by New Frontier. And the game doesn't give much detail about how he made it through in the early days. Like, how did Clem keep him as a newborn? And she was alone for so long in a post-apocalypse world. What did she go through? We get a little flashback here and there, but we don't actually get to see everything. Listen, this is the reason why people think of New Frontier is the worst. Because imagine the consequence and how different the story would have been if we would have kept following Clementine when AJ was just an infant. He was just a little baby, bro. He couldn't even move by himself. She gotta move him, carry him, everything. And her doing that and being in the survival of the apocalypse this whole time, that I feel like that might have been a way deeper emotional impact with Clem. Listen, I like Javier, I like the New Frontier, but just imagine it. Seeing Mama Klemsky do all this stuff she gotta do for AJ, but we just don't see that. And I could kind of see that it could backfire, because they gonna be like, oh, I don't want to babysit this little baby, I'm in the post-apocalypse war. But I feel like that could have added a lot. But hey, we just have to speculate. All we know is that they made it through, and I'm glad they made it through. Next one. Listen, this one I might be digging in too deep, but who was talking to Clementine dad on that radio in season 1? Alright, so we all know Lee found Klemsky in the treehouse all alone, and her parents left for Savannah. But there are details you could have forgotten. Listen, Clem's dad left her a message on the answering machine, and basically it was telling her that they were leaving, and Clem's dad told her to listen to the radio. Now, was it some kind of emergency broadcast station? Did they know about the outbreak? But this mystery, it never get touched on again. It might not be the most important question in the series, but a mystery nonetheless. But with that being said, what mystery will you want to solve the most? And like, subscribe, hit the noti bell if you want to, and we out.